Pronto, Vincenza.
Pronto, Randy, and welcome everyone to our 36th. Did you hear that? 36th episode. Yes, roundabout. We need like the machine. We press the button, it claps. Our 36th episode of our Pronto podcast, which is our lifestyle podcast where we talk about all the beautiful things life has to offer, whether it be fashion, self-care, our goals, inspiration, favorite memories, you name it. We talk about it all here on our Pronto podcast. And welcome. Randy, how are you?
I'm excellent.
Yes,
this
excellent.
Weather, right?
I know, right? It's been a beautiful fall season. We've been spoiled. But speaking of the fall season, I'm sure that it's also a great time for weddings, and you've been very busy at the salons. I'm sure all 5 salons have been very busy.
Yes.
And then it's wedding season.
Especially Hotel du Pont.
Excellent. That's really nice to hear. For those of you who don't know, we actually have our full live filming recording of our Pronto podcast here at one of the locations, one of the 5, one of the locations of the Curry Hair, Skin and Nails location in the DuPont building right next to Hotel DuPont.
Yes.
It's really spectacular. It's beautiful that we're connected to the iconic Hotel DuPont. You're welcome. But I just wanted to make a shout out that we film it live here. Obviously, the salon is not open right now because or there'd be people, it'd be very loud, hair dryers and everything would be going off. But we film it live here, and it's really exciting to be on site to see things unfold, even though you're not open right now, but still the hotel is open. So it's really cool to be here. But you have to check it out. You have to definitely check out this location and also check out Hotel DuPont. It's always, it's always so legendary for Delaware when you visit Hotel DuPont, but also for those who are outside of the state that come here, they're just so blown away by how beautiful it is.
And discovering the city as well. Mm-hmm. Like the city's come alive.
Yes, exactly. And it continues to thrive, which we love to see right here in Wilmington, Delaware. But other than that, it is also, being October, it is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And in honor of breast cancer awareness, the Curry Hair, Skin and Nails will be hosting this great event with 20% off all sales to be donated to breast cancer awareness. So keep that in mind. Make sure you check this out. There's the flyer, refreshments, giveaways, mini makeup consultations. Oh, you name it. You have to check it out. So no excuses. Randy, would you like to touch on this a little bit more? Any other important information we should share with our viewers and listeners?
Well, we have a makeup artist doing mini makeovers.
Excellent.
And she's fabulous. And, all sales will be 20% donated to breast cancer awareness.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's really beautiful. And it's always important. I'm a huge advocate for promoting breast cancer awareness in a way that makes sure that we share the information and continue the conversation of the importance of early detection through screenings and mammograms. It's very, very important. My mom is a breast cancer survivor.
Wow.
And because of her early detection from her mammograms, her annual checkups and screenings, she was able to treat her cancer successfully. And again, that is a blessing in itself. Right. And I know that it could hit home for anyone. And when it does, it's just a rude awakening. So as someone who has experienced it in their family and firsthand, and obviously, I'm sure you know somebody, but when it hits home,
right,
it's different. So just make sure that you take care of yourself and early, not just for early detection with mammograms and screenings, but it doesn't just affect females, it affects males as well. Yes. So just make sure that you're always checking. It's very important.
Yep.
And so I have some fun news to share with you, but I missed you. So we talked about it last time, the anniversary party.
Oh yeah. I saw pictures and it was
I was hoping you were going to show up, Randy.
Yeah. I have a family stuff going on, so
that's okay. Yeah. Next party. So V&M Bistro had their 10-year anniversary party last week. Look at that photo of my sister and I. We were dressed up. The theme was Studio 54, disco 70s. So it was so much fun. We transformed the entire restaurant into like Studio 54. It was really fun decorating the restaurant. I'm not going to lie. Look at that picture. How great is that with the disco balls? It was really really good time. And it was such a success. And a shout out to the V&M Bistro team for doing such a phenomenal job working together. Oh, there's me. So we were dancing.
I like your glasses.
Oh yeah, we were dancing the night away. It was so great. We had a disco style, actually, excuse me, the number one disco style DJ in all of Brooklyn, New York, came all the way to Delaware, and he was phenomenal.
Wow.
If you ever need a disco style DJ, his name is Anthony Marcelli from Brooklyn, New York. He is phenomenal.
Wow.
I mean, from every song you could think of, he had, and also the fact that his transitions were so seamless. I mean, you just appreciated like how he was just listening to the crowd, feeling the crowd out. It was really great. But anyway, going back to the anniversary, thank you so much to all the customers that joined us. It was really just a great event, super successful. And again, hopefully to another 10 years.
I have to comment on the hair. Like the hair was fabulous.
Oh yes. Can we go back to the photo before? Yeah, that's a great one. If you can go, yep, that one right there. Yeah. Okay. So there's my sister, Margarita. She wanted to have her hair up because she was bartending that night and she had to make all the cocktails, all the drinks, the limoncello martinis, the espresso martinis, and having her hair down is not practical. It'll be disheveled by the end of the night. And she knew if she puts her hair up, it will be put together. And she had this vision of these bubble braids, like the bubble look for the bubble braid. And we used my fancy hair extensions to make that happen. And it was a success. And I have to give a shout out to the person that did that. Her name is Linda Ross. Linda is also did my hair as well. We did the curly look for me, but she was so good on my sister's hair. Like, so shout out to Linda Ross. She does a phenomenal job with updos. I always hire her for my updos or just something fun and different. And she loves taking risks. And, you appreciate someone that likes to take a risk with hair, right? And she does that. She was dynamic. But also I wanted to mention lo-fi night. So I know we had a clip up before. This is separate from the anniversary party. This is something that we do on a weekly basis every Friday night from 8 to 10 p.m. We call it a late night happy hour, lo-fi night. But basically, it's low-key house vibes and a DJ set with DJ Alex Sack. And he's really great. So it just feels like maybe like a lounge feel, a place that you want to go for a nightcap, an after-dinner drink or cocktail, or it's the place you want to start off with before you hit the night out. And, hit the town for the night. And that could be the place to go. So every Friday we do lo-fi night from 8 to 10 p.m. We have an exclusive drink menu with signature cocktails, really great. And it's only at that time. So you have to check that out. So that's every Friday night at V&M Bistro.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, before we introduce our dynamic guest, I love to talk about product, right, Randy?
Yes.
All right. So,
and I love you talking about
thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I wanted to talk about this particular product. So this is it's called Lavanda, correct? Lavanda. It's by Carello by Curry, one of their products that they have in all of their stores and their retail stores. And it's an extra fine Italian soap. And it's absolutely incredible. It's lavanda, but lavender. And if you just, it smells so good. Randy, here, smell for the cameras.
We have people purchasing this and putting their in drawers.
Yes, that's exactly what I was just going to mention. I was so thankful when you gifted me this one time. And this was a little bit ago. And I said, I don't use bar soap. What am I going to do? And then I decided, you know what? I will put this in my drawers. I'll put this in my closet. And it just smells so beautiful. I recently opened one up and I'm actually using it. And the soap itself, it's not greasy. It doesn't leave a residue on your hands. It's actually beautiful soap.
It's like creamy.
Yes, yes. And the smell, the aroma is just exquisite. I highly recommend you check out this product here. I'll put it back in the box. You check out this product. It's sold at all of the Curry Hair Skin and locations. I recommend it, whether you use it for hand soap or you just use it to place in your closet, in your drawers, and it just gives such a beautiful aroma.
It's really an ideal gift as well.
Agreed. It's not too much, but maybe someone who is sensitive or has sensitive skin. This is really a beautiful thought to give someone, even though if they can't use it on their hands or they can't use it on their skin, they can use it as a really beautiful aroma to have in their room or their house. All right. Well,
thank you.
You're welcome. Without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest for today. We are so excited to welcome our guest, Sara A. Crawford. Sara is a consultant at Sara A. Crawford, LLC, founder of Blondie Mansion, provides mindset education, brand awareness, and growth solutions to entrepreneurs, organizations, and creatives. In addition to business services, Sara transforms brands into powerful cultural movements through her Blondie Mansion initiative dedicated to helping creatives and entrepreneurs achieve their goals through immersive and innovative experiences. She blends business education, music events, and art exhibitions. Their signature experience is visual melodies, showcases live music, spoken word, and art. Through their programs, we foster creativity, cultural movements, and community growth, creating a supportive ecosystem for entrepreneurs and creatives. It is my honor to introduce Sara A. Crawford. Welcome, Sara.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you
Pleasure.
for joining us. Thank you for joining us. I was sharing with Randy how incredible you are. Like, you're such an amazing human being. And I said, we need to have her on the show. Like, this is like a no-brainer. And for you who don't know, Sara and I know each other well. I've had the honor of interviewing you quite a few times.
Absolutely.
And I said to Sara, I was like, pretend you don't know me, because I want everybody else to see who you are and what you're doing for these creatives, what you're doing for individuals in the community, because you are multi-talented. I mean, you have so many skills.
Yeah, multi-talented can equal tired.
Right? We talk about that all the time, but that's okay.
I got to say, I had, maybe 5 calls of people that are excited that you're a guest on the show. So powerful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, Sara, let's get right to it. So tell us a little bit about who you are. I know I read the bio, which is extremely impressive, but let's start about like your work in fashion and how it kind of just progressed and grew into so much more.
So my story is so interesting to me because I've pivoted a few times, but I've always been a creative, and I always attribute that to my parents. My mom could sew, and she's also a caterer. My dad is deceased. However, he was a carpenter, and he could draw. Like, he did a lot of sketching. So the sketching and the sewing I kind of got from them, like my creative genes, I like to say. And I think it really just came from my family in general, because my mom, on my mom's side, my uncle was the first African-American printer in Delaware. And my grandfather also owned businesses. So I just kind of feel like I got it, honestly, the entrepreneurship bug. But I always wanted to be in fashion. I was really into clothes. I was always really into costume design when I was watching TV. And, I think in that time, people didn't really see creatives and designers as really being a job. But my parents did a really good job in nurturing that, regardless of what other people thought. So it was always, I'm going to be a designer. I'm going to be a designer. Kids say things, but you think it might wear off. It never wore off. I can remember being in history class in high school, and I sat by my cousin because we went to school together, and she would like draw the bodies and I would draw the clothes, and I was supposed to be paying attention and I wasn't. So it kind of just started really young, really wanting to be into design. And I was intentional and made an effort to make sure that the schools that I was choosing, or my extra activities I was choosing, were aligning to really like my end goal, because I was really excited into learning all that I could learn. So, I went to college in Tampa, Florida. I went to International Academy of Design and Technology. I did my 4 years in 3 years because I went to school all year round. Very excited. Was very anxious to get into that. And part of our program was, at the end, you had to do, they call it a exit presentation, but you also had to do an internship. So that's how I ended up moving to New York. And when I did my internship with DDC Lab, which is a limited quantity couture brand, and I wanted to work with them because I wanted to be a designer, but I still liked the idea of having things that were one of a kind or limited quantity. So I thought they were the perfect match for me. So went there. Then I also worked for Tommy Hilfiger while I was there and helped him outfit some stores and get merchandise things ready for stores that were overseas. And then I worked for H&M. I worked for a bunch of different companies.
Yes. Yeah. You've definitely done quite, but you've been exposed to so many different designers, and that is what makes you so special in what you do, because your experience, your resume. And I think that is why you have become so successful as an entrepreneur and helping others and other creatives shine and obviously can encourage them to thrive in their respective careers. But talking about yes, exactly. And that's something that, the journey, tell us, the journey and your passion that drives you, and that's something that I have had the opportunity to getting to know you. And it's been, truly awesome to see like how you evolved. I think the first time I met Sara, she gifted me this book. Do you remember the book?
The Playbook to Essential Style.
Yep. I loved it. I said, this book needs to be in more people's hands. Like, we need this to be like #1 bestseller here. And it was so well written, but it was informative. It was an easy read. And that's something that I feel like people that are very busy, that don't have the time to sit down and just focus and get lost in a book, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I admire bookworms. My sister is an avid bookworm. She loves books, but she can read fast. Like, she can get like a book this thick and she can read it in one day. Like, she can write a whole report on it and probably memorize it. She's that, brilliant.
I'm not that good. Not anymore.
I'm like, that's brilliant. But for someone who's like me, who's always on the go, I wish I had that time to do it. So I love easy reads or books that are very simple that you can pick up and just, kind of open the pages and go through it. I have it on my bookshelf. I have your book on my bookshelf. I know. And I wanted to make sure that we talked about the Playbook to Essential Style, because I think it was such a great book. And let's talk about the TED Talk. So we did a TED. Hello.
So
what was that experience like, the TED Talk?
People ask me that, and it's almost hard to articulate that experience. Doing a TEDx talk is nothing like I've ever done before. I always jokingly say, but it's really factual. My mom's had me speaking in front of people since I was 2 or 3 years old. So, the idea of public speaking wasn't necessarily nerve-wracking, but one of the things they encourage is to read the actual TED Talk book. So I really dived into that, did a whole lot of highlighting, and just their idea of public speaking is it's slightly different. And I have to admit, I did it. It was great, but I have never really been like truly nervous before I've had to go speak to people. And all of a sudden I started freaking out, like maybe like 5 minutes before I hit the stage. And I was like, I need water. I'm going to pass out. Somebody find water. They were like, what is wrong with you?
Like, I forgot my name. I don't know who I am.
I literally was like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to say when I get on the stage.
Knowing Sara and her personality and how, like, I love her heart and her energy. I could so see you be like, I need water. I forgot my name. I need give me a minute. I need to collect myself. And then she's good. And then you're amazing. When the lights turn on and it's go time.
It's go time.
It's go time for how to turn it on, and you get it and you do it well. And I'm sure it was nerve-wracking and it was a lot, and you were anxious building up, preparing for it, but you did it.
Yeah.
And I salute you for achieving that.
Thank you.
That's a big accomplishment.
Yep.
Big accomplishment.
It was amazing. And I think more so, for me, I like to be intentional about the things I do and I align myself with. So I didn't want to just do a TEDx because everyone was doing a TEDx. I didn't want to feel like it was like a fad or a train I was jumping on. I wanted what I talked about to be meaningful and be an idea worth spreading, as they say. And I wanted it to really touch people. And it did exactly that, because even now people are like, I didn't know you did a TEDx talk, and it was so powerful, and all of these things. So it did the thing it was supposed to do.
See, exactly. It did the thing it was supposed to do.
What was his subject?
So I talked. My talk was called a signature pigment. So what I really wanted to talk about is how being growing up as an albino African American, just the experience of it and the way people treated me and all of these things, and the things that I saw, how it really led me into my field of fashion because me being created differently, it really made me want to make sure that everything I do forever has that stamp on it, that it's always distinctively a Sara thing or it's different. It makes you feel something you've never felt. And it really just talked about that journey into that. And most people are like, that's a little strange, but it really was, it was the inspiration.
Not strange at all. And if anybody says otherwise, they have no idea what they're talking about. I'm glad Randy asked that question because that was what I was thinking. And I'm so happy you went with that approach.
Absolutely.
That's your story. That's your story.
Absolutely.
And that's something that's inspiring, but it also is a unique story. It's different. Right. And that sets you apart from everybody else. And I think that is important to share that.
And it was not just about the good parts. I shared the bad and the good parts. And that was also in my nerve-wracking mind. Like I'm a ruminator. So thinking it's like you're being more vulnerable. You're really opening up yourself, talking about not just the good parts, but the bad parts. Cause it wasn't always a beautiful thing. It definitely was a journey. I had my parents to support me and family members and friends, but it was a journey. But I love that I was able to have that level of a village and that level of strength that I could take that and I could birth something great from it, if that makes sense.
No, it does make perfect sense. And it was good that you show that true, authentic side of you in your TED Talks by sharing the good and the bad. Because yes, it was, yes, you're different, you're unique, but there was also some hardships that you had to push through and persevere through. And it's important to share that story for those that may be experiencing something similar and they're afraid to speak up. They're afraid to explain themselves. And I think it's really important for, us to, as we get older, to share our stories. It's like our war stories, right? We share our war stories.
Absolutely.
But that's what makes us who we are today, right? It shapes our character, it builds character, and now we can pour into others. And I want to talk about Blondie Mansion. Let's talk about it, pouring into others. This girl pours into so many creative individuals who are just doing some amazing things on the scene. So let's talk about, as an art curator and the creator of Blondie Mansion, it's evident that you have a true love for passion in the arts. So what do the arts mean to you and how important are they to cultivate within our communities?
So, Blondie Mansion isn't just, it does have a lot of creativeness to it. But I like to attribute a few things to Blondie Mansion. So I am the former director of the Women's Business Center at True Access Capital. So before, even though I was an entrepreneur, being in that role for 8 years really allowed me to have a really deep dive, like upfront personal seat into our community for our entrepreneurs and for our creators as well, and what their needs were, what was working, what wasn't working, the demographics, like the whole kit and caboodle, as I like to say. And I didn't, I took that job just as I was a part-timer when I started, and I just thought that it was going to be a job, and it ended up that I had a deep love for what I was able to do there with this group of individuals. And it was very rewarding. And I think it just kept helping me to understand and to build on my own personal goals and things I wanted to do in that community. So one year I was still a director. Then one year I went to a thing called Rose Mansion in New York. It was like an interactive kind of, not museum, but kind of like a artsy museum type of thing. But in every room, the curators there, they had different types of wine from like all over. So you got to like do all the photo ops, hang out with your friends, and then, taste different wines. And then at the end, they had like a little room where you could kind of get like small bites and things of that nature. It was like eye-opening because I had never seen anything like it. And I had never experienced anything like it. And I'm all about a good experience. So I was like, I need Delaware to have something like this. I need to do something like this.
Mhm.
It was like really like it had all the light bulbs going off. So that year I was turning 35. I decided to kind of use that inspiration to create a party for myself. So I was living in like a duplex home at the time. I turned my whole entire house into Blondie Mansion. And so I had upside down Christmas trees hanging from the ceiling. I had ball pits. It was so like crazy. And so from there, I took it and I wanted to turn Blondie Mansion into an adult fun house because I felt like kids get all the things, but adults don't get as much anymore once you get to a certain age. So I wanted it to be this thing that you could come to and kind of let your hair down, have fun. But as time went on, I wanted to find a way to merge my love of art and visuals with my love of business knowledge and then my love of music. So that is how I fused them all together and created the new Blondie Mansion. So the new Blondie Mansion that we all have come to know is probably about maybe 3 years old. It's more on the newer side. Because I wanted to make sure that I was fostering all the things not only that I loved, but all the things that needed to happen that I could see needed assistance in my community. And one thing I know for sure is that the arts and entertainment community, it's booming. It's all around us, is everywhere. There's so many great, talented people right here in our own backyard, but I don't feel like they get the recognition or the support that I feel like they should get. Like, it's almost like it's not valued the way it should be. And I am so like very adamant on wanting to change that. Not just by creating immersive experiences, but also making sure that these individuals have the business knowledge that they need to know to ensure that for themselves.
Right. And I love that, you are pouring and going back to pouring into others and helping them thrive in their passions with their passions. So tell us a little bit about this photo that we have up on the screen. So did you design that balloon?
So I did not completely design it. I came up with the idea. So there is a local balloon business called the Pop Factor. They are the creators of that garland, as they call it, that balloon decor. And I just kind of was like, I want these colors. I needed to be inspired by this. And this is Candyland, New York. It was an untraditional Christmas art exhibition, and it was inspired by Candyland and Willy Wonka.
I love it. Yeah, I could see the lollipops now. Now that you said that, Candyland, I see the lollipops, the candies within the
And on the floor, there was an oversized Candyland game. So if you wanted to play Candyland, and then the artist that's on the walls, her name is Shantae Young Williams. She's also a local artist, and her art is inspired by music. So her and I connected that way as well. So she had a whole playlist that she created just for this event. And this Candyland New York that's up, this is the Halloween theme. That's actually going on right now in the MKT Place Gallery in downtown Wilmington.
Beautiful artwork. Do you want to give a shout out to the artists?
So this is Brian Mills from House of Marcel. He is amazing. This is a Tim Burton Halloween inspired art exhibition. So all the artists is 6 different artists, local artists. They all were reimagining or inspired by Candyland, New York. And the next picture that's up is Shantae Young Williams in real life, not just her art. She's live painting during our Blondie Mansion weekend, during a visual Melodies.
Love that. I love live paintings. I think it's so one, interactive, but in a sense where you're getting that experience of what it goes into a live painting versus just seeing the finished product. And I think that's almost like taking you behind the scenes of what happens. And I love that you do that on site. Now, what's this picture of? It looks like you have a little entertainment.
Yeah. So last year during Blondie Mansion weekend, our first night is very much about collaboration and partnerships and connecting with those not only in the entrepreneurship and creative community, but those that we have not met before that we can start building and fostering relationships with. So this is more of our vibe and connect night. And this is our live aerialist. And she's actually a champagne pouring aerialist. So she's spinning and dancing and doing her thing while she's pouring champagne.
That is so cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I should consider that at my next anniversary party
She
because
is amazing.
so I had people when they were arriving and checking in at the door through security at my anniversary party at Vienna and Bistro. I had someone handing them champagne right when they walk through the door. How fun would that be? An aerialist handing them champagne when they walk through the door. That is cool. Was that your idea?
Yes, I love things that are different. I love immersive experiences.
Mhm.
Um, the thought of someone spinning on a lollipop rig and pouring my champagne, I was just like, I like it. Let's do it.
Next thing you know, there's going to be sparklers and the baton
Exactly.
rolling with fire. Here's your champagne. That's really awesome. That's really awesome. And I love that you give a different experience. Tell us a little bit about this photo right here, talking about her legacy awards.
So this photo is from her legacy last year. So her legacy is going into its 8th year.
Excellent.
I started this event 8 years ago, and it was under a different name. It was called Her Story, Our History. And last year we rebranded to Her Legacy. But
Mhm.
this is a Women's History Month event that we happens in March. And we've been doing this to celebrate the women who are doing exceedingly great things, not only in their business, but in our communities, just wanting to make sure that we're keeping their legacy alive and allowing them a platform to tell their story. So again, it happens in March, every Women's History Month. And this is from last year. And I'm a Padua Academy graduate alum. So
Yeah.
this is the young lady that's on the stage. She is from Padua. Last year, I introduced Padua to the event so that I could not only inspire the young ladies of the, in the school, but I also include them in the program.
That's a nice photo right there. You can see that you had a packed house for that event.
Yes,
And I
yes.
love that you're going in. So you're going into the ninth year. So next year will be
Eighth. No, next year will be eighth.
eight.
Next year will be eighth.
Okay, excellent. That's really awesome. And I love that you're highlighting strong women in the community and helping them shine and showcasing them. And I think that's really important because, I always say there's plenty of room at the top for all of us to be successful.
Absolutely.
Take
Absolutely.
everybody with you. Let's all uplift each other and encourage each other. And I love that you do that and you highlight that and recognize those individuals who are just doing the exception. And I love that. I really do. And I love that you said you're a Padua alum. I recognized, it's funny, I recognized the uniform, the
Yes.
girl that was speaking.
Their uniform actually is changing, so I
Wow,
wouldn't even recognize it now.
I
Yeah.
recognize. I was like, that looks like a Padua student
Yes.
speaking, and I love that you tied in your high school that you graduated from, and that's really
Very
special.
important.
I'm sure they're supportive of you too.
Oh, absolutely. They love me. I have went and spoke a few times to the girls. They're great. They're always excited. They make me excited, and it just takes me back. It's like, dang, I used to sit in this seat and be this
That's
person.
right. I have to say, I love Padua High School. I did not
Thank
attend
you.
Padua High School. I went to AI High School, and I've always had a connection to Padua in some way. Whether I was a volunteer for the Jefferson Awards, I implemented the program at Padua High School many, many years ago. And I
Yeah.
also helped with the dance team. And then I came to speak at one of their classes. So I've always been pulled
Oh,
to
I
Padua.
love that.
I've always been pulled there and I've never graduated from there. I didn't go to school
Okay.
there. My siblings didn't go there, but it was always pulling me there. And I'm like, I really like this school. This is a beautiful school. And I love that you are giving back and showing those students, hey, you can follow your dreams the way you continue to do.
Thank
Which
you for
is
giving
really
back too. We
special.
love that.
Yeah, no, that's really special and it's important.
Yeah.
So going back to her legacy awards,
Mhm.
what if someone wants to attend? I mean, how do you tell us a little bit? I know it's early, but maybe they could start to put it on their radar for
Yeah,
March.
so nominations are open right now. So if you go to saracrawford.com, you can nominate a woman that's doing
Mhm.
great things in her business or in her community that you feel should be highlighted or recognized. Ticket sales aren't up as of yet. We do nominations first. Ticket sales usually open about mid-January to beginning of February, just to kind of keep your
Mhm.
eye out. But if you want to nominate someone, they're definitely open right now.
Excellent. Here's the website, Sara A. Crawford, for more information if you want to find about the legacy award to hire you, Sara, to help them with maybe styling or just helping someone follow their dreams and pursue their passions, whether it be in the arts or in their, entrepreneurship of their choice. But I think it's really important for people to make note of your website, but also your Instagram, your social media, which I think is super important. It's at
Yes.
Sara.A.Crawford. So
Yep.
at Sara.A.Crawford. There it is. So it's the Instagram handle. I know you're on Facebook as well, Blondie Mansion and Sara A. Crawford. But I'm sure if someone just Googles your name, you'll pop right up because
I'll pop right up.
Yeah, you'll pop right up right away. Sara, was there anything else that you wanted to mention that we did not touch on? And was there a special event coming up outside of outside of her legacy through Blondie Mansion? Or anything else?
So right now we have, like I was saying, we have Candyland, New York, the Tim Burton inspired, Blondie Mansion Sweet Nightmares going on. That ends on Friday. So Friday we'll be open at the MKT Place Gallery from 7 to 9, closing that group art exhibition out. It's a really good time in there. It's definitely a lot of Beetlejuice going on and a little bit of everything. Edward Scissorhand, Alice in Wonderland. I kind of fused all of the things, some of the things that Tim Burton has done into one room. So that's definitely going on. And then in December 6th, I will be partnering with Wilmington Alliance for a more of a French inspired holiday event called La Fête Experience. And we'll be doing that at the Artomat.
Amazing. I do have a question from one of our listeners and viewers.
Oh, yes.
Is the art for sale that you feature in your events? Okay, there you go.
All the artists for sale, and some of the artists actually have prints in the actual gallery as well.
Awesome. I really, really love that, that you are promoting the arts. And I think that's really important. The arts are, I feel like always like artists, I feel like they always are struggling to get their name out there, and only the few are successful and get that fame. And there's so many talented artists out there. So I love that you're giving them.
And that's really what I want to do, with Blondie Mansion, is make sure that they understand to change the mindset. Because if you have the starving artist mindset, you will not go past that point. And it's just so important to know and understand the business side of it, not just the art and the talent side of it.
Yeah.
Fact. That is so true. And you create a space for artists to thrive, for artists to network, and then also for those that are interested in artwork and interested in obviously supporting and promoting. That's the space you've created through Blondie Mansion, and I love that, and I respect that. Right, Carrie. Excuse me, right, Randy. I know I'm jumping ahead because I know that there was something else I thought about with the Beetlejuice. So Beetlejuice came out with a movie recently.
Yes.
Right? And how fitting that artwork. And I'm sure that's a popular painting, especially with Beetlejuice movie coming out and then the Joker movie coming out. And I just feel like the holiday, the Halloween.
And the Penguin is on Apple TV.
There you go.
Yep.
Randy is following. Yes. No, great artwork. Really beautiful. Are those oil paintings?
He actually uses acrylics, and then he seals the paintings with I believe it is resin, and the resin actually has glitter in it, and these actually glow in the dark.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah. Even better. Oh, I love that. Well, Sara, we are nearing the end of this awesome interview, and it's always such a pleasure to continue to obviously support you. And I love that Randy had the opportunity to meet you, and I again to watch your journey as we continue to work in our respective businesses, but to watch your journey and to see you pivot and pursue your dreams and help others pursue their dreams. It's really cool. It's so funny. We have a question. When does she sleep? We don't sleep. Right? We don't sleep. Randy and I say it all the time. We don't sleep.
I mean, I get some sleep. I rest.
We take long naps.
Yeah.
I have to ask, let's jump back into fashion.
Okay.
I have to ask about your tutu. You brought back the tutu, right?
Oh.
Yes. It's funny. It started off as really something like I was going to do a photo shoot and I wanted to wear a tutu and I could not find one. So the first, I wish I had the photo of it, but the very first tutu I ever created was Fire Engine Red. That's literally what I wanted. It was for the holiday.
Wow.
And it kind of just took off from there. I still do tutus. I just don't talk about them as much, but my brand just pivoted. And when I pivoted, I landed on the tutu. So they used to call me the tutu queen because you could get them all different kind of colors, all different sizes. So I still love tutus. Tutus are, I feel like they're underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Very underrated.
Right. A little fashion statement, right? And I love that about you. It's
you could do a heel, a sneaker. You could do anything with them.
Yes. Oh, that was a good question. Yeah, that's definitely Sara. Definitely Sara. Again, everyone, please take the opportunity to follow saracrawford.com on our website, and then also obviously all of our social media pages. It's at Sara.A.Crawford, right? Did I say it right? Yep. Sara.A.Crawford on Instagram, but you can just Google Sara A. Crawford and she will pop up. Sara, as we obviously come to the end of the interview, we always ask our guest a traditional ending question. So we will ask you the question. Randy, do you want to ask it? I always ask it, but it's like the same question 36 times we've asked it. All right.
You're so good at it.
I got you. If you could chat with anyone from the past or present on a podcast, who would it be and why?
So on my podcast, I would like to have a combination. I wanted to be more like a little panel.
Oh.
So I would ask June Ambrose, who is a celebrity stylist and creative director. I picked her because I've watched her career over the years and I've seen where she started to where she is now. Mm-hmm. And although she's pivoted in different spaces, whether it's creative directing a photo shoot or creative directing a video and also designing for Puma and doing collaborations with other designers, I think that she's always stayed true to who she is. Mm-hmm. And I would love to just kind of dive deeper into how she stays true to what her passion is and is still able to kind of branch out and do other things that, she enjoys. And then the other two people are more personal. It would be my grandfather, Timothy Butler, and it would be my uncle, Roland Skip Butler. And that is because I never was able to meet them. They passed on before I was born. Mm-hmm. But two, because I am such the entrepreneur that I am, I attribute a lot of that to them. Again, I said my uncle was the first African-American printer in Delaware. I would love to see how he felt about that and what that looked like in that time era versus now.
Right.
And I would love to learn what both him, my uncle, and my grandfather, what they attribute to their levels of success and what really made them successful in their entrepreneurship journey.
Wow, that's really good. Right. I love that. And I love the panel. That was a different take on it. That was the first time somebody answered that question like that, and you made it a panel style. And I love that. That's so Sara. Like, if you know Sara's personality, that's so you. And I get it. Totally get it. Now that you know, yes. But also now that you know Sara, you'll get it too. Like, it's just, that doesn't surprise me. And I love that about you.
I love the name Roland. It's a great name.
Yeah. I love it. Love it.
Oh gosh. Do you have a lot of family in Delaware?
We're kind of scattered. A lot of them are downstate, but yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. And you're in the northern part of Delaware. You're near.
Yes, I'm in Wilmington and my mom is in Newcastle. Yes.
Okay. So you're near us. So we will definitely continue to see Sara thrive in the community, but it's great what you're doing for our community, especially in Wilmington, Delaware. And we were just talking about that before we introduced you onto the show. We were saying that the beauty of what's happening here in the state, but also in the city of Wilmington, we love to see the city continue to just thrive. And I think that's something important for all small businesses to continue to, be busy, but we need people to be busy. And we need people like you, good people in our community doing good things, pouring into our community, pouring into individuals and watching them grow and helping them grow and creating these spaces that are positive.
Yes.
So thank you for doing that. And,
thank you.
And stay here. Don't leave us.
That's not the intent.
She's like, bye everybody. I'm going to New York to be more famous. And I'm like, what? heck, stay with us. So, Sarah, I know, right?
You can do leave quickly, so I get it.
Bye. Sarah, thank you again.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it. It's been a great time.
Oh, you are
Thank
dynamic,
you. Yep.
really. And again, continued success as you grow and promote Blondie Mansion and her legacy awards. And, obviously we love what you're doing, and we'll have you back on the show.
Yeah.
We're going to have you back on the show. We'll definitely get updates.
I love it. We'll
for sure. All right. Well, good luck with everything, and we'll see you soon.
Have a good day, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, isn't she so phenomenal?
Yeah.
Really phenomenal. I told you she was going to be dynamic. I said, I've had the opportunity to interview her a few times on on DETV for Good Morning Wilmington, and it's been a true pleasure getting to know her through the years. And she knows so many people.
I know. Our artists call me and say, she's fabulous.
Oh, fabulous. Oh, yeah. So fabulous. And I love her sense of style and her approach and her personality and her heart.
And confident.
Yes.
Really confident.
Oh my gosh. Yes. But just genuinely kind. And that, you don't get that a lot. You don't, especially strong women who are thriving in their careers. Sometimes the kindness is missing. And when you have that kindness, it's just makes someone so special, and she is just a gem. So shout again, Sara A. Crawford. Make sure you follow her. Go to saracrawford.com. Definitely check out her social media pages. Follow Blondie Mansion. I definitely recommend it. And then obviously her Legacy Awards. They're accepting nominations. If you know an incredible individual in the community doing some inspiring things. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Randy. You're so sorry.
I'm going to nominate you.
Oh, thank you, Randy. I appreciate that. I really do. But if you know women in the community doing some phenomenal things, definitely check out her Legacy Awards. Nominate that person. Let's help them shine. It's all about encouraging, uplifting each other. Yes. That's what we're all about, right?
Yep.
Well, another great show, Randy.
Yeah, 36.
36 and many more to come. And make sure you stay tuned for our next episodes. I know that we have 37 coming up in November. So we like to take a little break and then we come back. So definitely check out the dates. November 11th, we have influencer, designer, and QVC host. Janine's coming back. I love that. I love that. So we will definitely, if you're interested in being on our podcast, check out our website at theprontopodcast.com. Check out our website if you're interested in being a guest. We're always looking for a dynamic guest to feature, give you an opportunity to tell your story. There it is, prontopodcast.com. Check us out also on our social media pages, which is the Pronto Podcast, right? I know I got them too confused. Check us out. But if you just Google Pronto Podcast with Randy and Vincenza, we pop up real quickly, right, Randy? Yep. So definitely check us out. Follow us on social media, tag us. If you're interested in being on the show, definitely just reach out. We have all that information on the website. But if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, or if you like to sponsor an episode, or you want to feature your business, definitely reach out. We are always looking for sponsors to be featured on our Pronto Podcast.
Yes.
Randy, another great show.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Yep. All right, Randy. Well, let's make sure that we stay involved. We're going to use this lavender. We're going to make sure that we take advantage of it. Don't forget. Check this out on all the Curry Hair, Skin and Nails location. The extra fine Italian soap, Carello by Curry. Don't sleep on this. I'm telling you, this is very good.
Thank you.
All right. Pronto, Randy.
Pronto, Vincenza.